Hello, hello, hello. It is Cassandra Terry, your manifesting miracle maker, and I've got a big smile on my face because it's Friday. It's Friday. We have pushed through, we have conquered, we have achieved our goals, we have made it to the end for many of another work week. And today is the day where we wrap up the week and prepare for the weekend for some R and recharging of our batteries so that we're ready to conquer what next week has to bring. Good morning, Sonia. I see you there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're feeling as good as I do. I actually had a long evening. I had quite a bit of work to do at the corporate job, getting ready for a bunch of presentations and stuff coming up. So I really thought I might be dragging a little bit this morning, but went to bed like I told you guys to, thinking about what I'm grateful for. I woke up thinking about what I'm grateful for and the things that have gone well so far this week. And here I am, bright eyed and bushy tailed and ready for what this day has to bring. Good morning, Mo. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are feeling good. I am feeling great. And for those of you who have seen me before on Fridays, our subject is always focus. Focus, focus, focus. If whatever we focus on, what we put our energy and our attention into, we increase the likelihood of success in that space immediately. So we'll talk about focus today. We'll talk about what it is. We'll talk about how having it can help us. Hello, puppy. And we will talk about how we might go about expanding, increasing, improving our ability to focus. So that's what we're going to do today. Good morning, Shay. Ramira, Dr. Ramira, welcome. I'm dragging and using your call to get some pep in my step. Well, I'm here for you, girl. I am here to pass the pep. I've got enough to share, and you are more than welcome to whatever portion of it you need. I'm sending it your way because it's Friday. It's Friday. The weekend is coming. It's upon us, and we get to decide. That's the first thing I want to say to you guys. If it's the beginning of your day, it's early morning for some, depending on where you are in the world, it's the sun starting to set, it's evening. And for some of the folks who watch me like in Africa and some of the other places in the world, it's late night, early Saturday morning. But the one thing that we all have right now is a choice. We get to decide right here, right now, what type of day we're going to have, what type of evening, what type of night, if we're slipping into bedtime. Make a choice, decide, and focus on what's going to get you there. I'm with Ramira. By the time Friday rolls around, we've done so much. We have been so busy. Nisi, I saw you scroll by. You better stop, girl, and spend some time with me this morning. As we get to Friday, most people are really tired. You've hit a whole work week. If you've got kids, especially summertime, you're keeping them busy in activities. Um, I have my job and I have a business. Oh, how do I say your name? Jaga Desari. I know I just it forgive my Texas thick southern drawl, but welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to see you here on LinkedIn. I know I butchered it. Hopefully we'll be in a room at some point in time together, and I can actually hear you say your name, so that I can get it correctly. Chris, hello. B Smith has a few questions. Hopefully they're legit questions and I can respond. B Smith, I never know what's coming my way, but I'm here for it if it's appropriate for our discussions today. Love the locks. Thank you. I'm 3 years in, and I love them too. I love having the locks. Vivian, welcome. So you guys keep coming in. And we're going to jump right into focus. And I wanted to start all week. If you haven't noticed, we've kind of had a theme. Every Monday we talk about mindset. On Tuesdays we talk about transformation. Wednesdays we talk about Wake Up Wednesday. We talk about being intentional. Good morning, Nisi. Love you, girl. On Thursdays, we talk about being thankful, gratitude. And on Fridays, we talk about focus. Every week, the schedule's the same. By the day of the week, that determines what the topic is. But what I try to do each week is give a little bit of a different focus to those things. So this week, good morning, Leisha. So this morning, this week has been all about using those individual things as tools to increase your likelihood of being successful in achieving your goals. I say increase your likelihood because I'm not a wizard, I'm not a witch, I don't have superpowers, I'm not a fairy, so I can't guarantee anything. But what I can do is give you tools and techniques and ideas that have worked for me, that have worked for others as I do my research. And then the missing piece is your application. Whether or not you're actually going to do something with the information and the discussions that we're having day to day. So that's always the mystery in this. I did a conference a few months back now, and in my research for that, I learned a really startling statistic, and it was 85%. 85% of people that attend conferences or read books or study or whatever the case may be, take in new information. They all get excited. They all, have that temporary motivation and they're ready to go for it. And 85% don't do anything with the data. By the time they leave and they get back into their normal routine, the excitement kind of wears away, and then the information and wears away with it, and they actually do absolutely nothing with that info. Now, the one great thing about you guys and our time that we spend together is the repetition. We're talking about, just like I said a few minutes ago, the same topics week in and week out. So you're hearing similar information, you're immersing yourself in a particular community, taking in particular types of information, positive mindset, those types of things. So because you keep coming back and because you keep absorbing and bringing yourself into that space, the likelihood of you actually making some changes is really good. But at the end of the day, it comes down to you. We can talk, we can motivate, we can get excited, we can build plans and roadmaps and really talk through how you're going to accomplish your goals. But the missing ingredient is your focus on that and your energy into that. So if you'll bring the focus and the energy to the things that we talk about, you're going to start to see a change. If you just watch, just like we do, a TV show or something, if we take it in, it's entertainment, it's interesting, it becomes a part of our routine, that kind of thing. There may be slight changes just absorbing the information and being around it. But without you really making a conscious decision and committing and focusing on and then putting your energy in, you won't see the real changes that you'd like to see. But only 15% apply. Nice. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm here for. I would like to see that 85%, at least in this group. I'd like to see that 85% decrease and our 15% growing, and more people making lasting change and different choices and decisions and focusing on the things that are important to you so that you, in fact, have the life that you desire. Every one of us are capable of that and deserving of that. I don't care how wild your dreams are. I was listening to a lady the other day, maybe yesterday, and she was saying one of her goals, one of her dreams is to something with Oprah, and it was one other talk show person. I can't remember who the other person was. And she was like, I don't know either one of them. I don't have any connection that I'm aware of to either one of them, but I keep putting it out there. I keep talking about it. I keep reminding myself that that's something that I want to do. I keep showing up in my lives, and I think she's written a couple of books. She keeps doing her part and putting that out there. And as long as she keeps doing her part, the likelihood of it happening is increasing. It's a goal for her. She's putting that energy out there. She is trying to make it happen. Subconscious mind activate. Exactly. Our subconscious mind is activated all the time. It is drawing things to us. It is making decisions on our behalf. It's telling us what we can and can't do, what's safe and what's not. It's working in the background all the time. And the reason we get together Monday through Friday is because I want you to become intimately aware of that subconscious mind, intimately aware of the voice that's playing in your head, that automatic messaging that's going on all the time. If you can hear it, you can control it, you can use it to your advantage. So how do you do that? You've got to tap in. You have to get quiet sometimes, and you have to really focus on nothing. Just allow your mind to wander, get nice and quiet and concentrate. Sometimes one of the techniques I heard that I used um, is you close your eyes, you take some deep breaths and allow yourself to relax, and then you listen for the sound that's closest to you. And when you do that, you're kind of really concentrating on what's going on right present, right around you. And you do that. And then you take some deep breaths, and then you concentrate on the sound that's farthest away from you. And you'll be surprised when you actually go deep and allow your brain to relax like that. You'll be surprised at what you hear. I'm sitting right next to a window. There's houses right back there. I heard construction sounds. I heard, sirens. I heard things that I was completely unaware of consciously, um, while I was sitting here at my desk. But when I allowed myself to really focus and concentrate, my ability to hear and concentrate expanded. And I heard things that just typically, background noise that I wouldn't even pay attention to. Yes, breathing slowly calms the mind. It really does. It helps you to relax. So if you're someone who suffers from any type of anxiety or panic attacks and things like that, getting in touch with your breathing and getting your and doing that nice slow breathing as soon as you start to feel something going awry can really help you get it under control before it gets control of you. So being having good breathing techniques and knowing how to use those can help you in so many situations. You've got a big presentation, or you've got to do something you've never done before and you're just stressed about it, you're panicked. In that moment, you can stop, you can get still, close your eyes, and just take some nice, slow breaths. And just to help you with some counting, to help you, what is a nice, slow breath? You can inhale for a 4 count, you can exhale for a 7 count, no, hold it for a 7 count, and then slowly exhale to an 8 count, 4, 7, 8. Just remember that. Inhale for 4, hold it for 7, exhale for 8. And the exhaling for 8 was the part that was hardest for me. A lot of us are shallow breathers. We're so busy, we're so tense and tight without even realizing it, that sometimes that's we don't even take good deep cleansing breaths, and our lungs need that. Sometimes we're yawning and things, not even so much because we're tired, but because our body needs more oxygen, and the way that we breathe is not sufficiently moving the oxygen through our bodies. So those nice deep breaths all the way for 7, taking it in, taking it in, taking it in, and then blowing it out all the way for 8. Those good cleansing breaths will relax your mind, and they're really good. They're good for the body. So that's something that you should practice when you're feeling great. Practice when there's nothing going on, and start to build that ability and that muscle memory, so that when you are starting to feel stressed or things are starting to kind of get tight for you, you have that practice that you can pull on, that tool that you can pull out to help you calm things down, or help you get in a good, even state of mind so that you can tackle whatever's ahead of you. Yes, being near nature, near trees, being outside when you're doing it, those types of things, being near water, a stream, or a lake, any of those types of things really, really enhance those breathing exercises and help you to calm even faster. So, wasn't something I intended to talk about today, but I don't believe that anything happens. I think everything happens for a reason. So, somebody needed to hear that. So, whoever you are, I hope you're practicing your breathing right now, and that if you need it now, you're using it, or you're building that skill so that the next time things start to you start to feel the stress or the tension and anxiety, you've got something that you can rely on that can help you to calm down. I do that when I go out to walk in the park. Yeah, that's a great time being outside. All right, so that's the breathing. We were talking about focus. Doing that really helps you to calm the mind and prepare you to focus on whatever the task is at hand. And what does focus mean? When we're focused, we're taking all of our energy, our mind, our resources, our attention, everything is going into that single task. So for that moment, you're saying yes to that and you're saying no to everything else. Everything else takes a back seat so that you're in a position to really hone in and focus on the task at hand. That single mindedness, that single focus is going to make you do, help you to do a better job at whatever it is because all the distractions are gone. You've relaxed the mind. You're focused in on the task at hand. You're less likely to make errors. You're likely to go deeper and do a better job. So focus really, real and being calm really helps you. Uh, let's see. Okay, so I was looking at some comments, but they're really not for me. All right, so let me give you guys the quote that I found that I thought was really appropriate for when we're talking about focus. Concentrate all your thoughts upon the work at hand. So that's the beginning of it. But what really brought it to life for me. Good morning, mother. Is it says the sun's rays do not burn until brought to a focus. And that was Alexander Graham Bell who said that. Concentrate all your thoughts upon the work at hand. The sun's rays do not burn until brought to a focus. And that quote took me back. Um, that took me back to a time when I was a kid. And have you ever played with the microscope, but not the microscope? What do you call it? Oh, what do you call it? Yeah, I guess it's not a microscope. Magnifying glass. You have the magnifying glass, and you can be outside, and the sun shines through, and you could actually start a fire. You could actually burn something, and that's because that magnifying glass is focusing that ray in on something in particular. The sun is hot. I mean, the temperature isn't changed, it hasn't changed, but the focus has changed. It's keying all those rays in on a particular object, and that's what Alexander Graham Bell is saying about concentrating. Concentrate all your thoughts upon the work at hand. So you're concentrating on your particular goal, you're concentrating on that particular task. So I had an acrostic created for focus. And the F is focus on your target. The O, organize your actions. The C, consistency in effort. The U, utilize your time. And the S, strive for excellence. So that's what focus is. It's taking all of that energy, organizing it, being consistent, putting your time into one activity at a time, and doing it to the best of your ability. So focus on your target, organize your actions, be consistent in your efforts, utilize your time, and strive for excellence. And that's what focus really is all about. And when you're doing that and you're honing in, we get back to what I was talking about. The quality of what you're doing improves. Your understanding of the topic at hand goes deeper, and you learn and you know it better. I'd heard somebody say years ago that if you really want to learn something well, learn it as if you have to teach it to somebody else, because there's a different level of learning that you need. You have to be prepared to answer questions. There may be difficult, words or terms in what you're learning, so you can't just go past those. You have to actually peel them back and understand what it is they mean, so that you are able to really teach that to the next person that comes along. So when you go into your work, I mean, you could think about it the same way. I want to give that level of effort so that I could turn around and teach someone else what this is all about. That's really honing in the mind, the issues. Hey, how are you? We must catch up. So you're showing up as LinkedIn user. So drop your name. I'm not exactly sure who it is that says we must catch up. All right, so that's focus. Focus on your target, organize your actions, be consistent, utilize your time, and strive for excellence. We are concentrating all of our work upon all of our thoughts upon the work at hand so that we can be like that sun ray and really go deep and affect and be effective and focused on what it is that we're trying to accomplish. Can you imagine if you've got your goals set up and that you know what it is that you want. You've been thinking about it for a long time. Why isn't it happening? You have to ask yourself that. You have to get honest with yourself and do a little bit of reflection. And it's like, am I not putting enough energy into it? Is it not something that really aligns with my values? You've got to figure out what's standing between you and the life that you want, the goals that you have. And then once you figure that out, that's where you focus. You focus in on that, removing that obstacle. It may be a mindset shift. It may be something as simple as getting to the point to where you believe that you're capable of it. It may be believing that you deserve it. Or maybe you need to do some studying. You need to bone up in that particular area so that you can be more effective. Think about it. If you're running a business, there's so many different aspects to it. One thing is writing the book, right? Another thing is marketing the book and actually selling the book, doing all the advertising. There's so many things that goes with any particular thing that it is that we're trying to do. So you have to focus in on you, know what your strengths are, know what your opportunities for improvement are, and where those opportunities are. Is that an area that I want to spend my time is? Do I source that out and get somebody to take care of that for me? Or is that a place where I need to learn and dig deeper myself so that I can manage that part better? You want to consistently be assessing and reflecting with yourself so that you're making good decisions and you're putting your energy into the right thing, that you're focusing on the right thing. Because it's one thing to focus, but if you're not focused on what's important to you, if you're not focused in on what it is that you actually are trying to accomplish, then you don't get there as well. I too have written a book yet to publish. Oh, I don't know if you know any Osong on LinkedIn. But he is great with helping you get that book out there and getting it published and doing the marketing and things prior to publishing. So check out Eny. I think it's Osong, Osong. You can DM me if I didn't spell it right, and I can point you in his direction. So focus again begins with awareness, really being clear about what it is that you want. Get clear about that first. What am I trying to accomplish? What's important to me? And then you lay it out. How do I get there? What are the steps that I need to do in order to get from where I am to where it is I'm trying to be? And then one at a time. We're not talking multitasking. We're talking single tasking when we talk about focus. One at a time, give those activities your attention, your full attention, so that you're working on them and doing what's necessary to accomplish them. You knock one out, what's the next thing on the list? Focus in on that. And what you'll find, it's hard in the way that we've grown up and how the world works around us. It's hard to do one thing at a time. There's so much um, emphasis put on multitasking that it's kind of the buzz has been the buzzword for years. But I think research has shown and people have come to realize that you do a thing better and quicker, more efficiently if you do it one at a time. So you may have 12 tasks and you're working on two or three of them at a time, thinking, I'm going to get through this a lot faster. And you will probably be faster doing them one at a time because you'll get each individual task actually completed quicker, and the value of the work that goes in each one goes up because you don't have split brain. You're honed in on that one activity at a time. So I'm definitely a proponent of single tasking, and one of the ways I do that is I time block my day. So my calendar is blocked from 6 a.m. to 7:30 or so. My calendar is blocked out so that no one on my job schedules any early morning meetings for me. Um, I have an international team. So I've got people that report to me in India and Australia and all kinds of different places. So my day and their night are opposite. And so it's easy for me to have meetings late at night or early in the morning. And if I'm not careful and if I don't manage my time and block it out for when I'm focused on what, then it all blurs together and I never have time to focus on any particular thing at once. So first thing in the morning is me time to kind of mentally get myself together and then to have my live times with you guys. And then about 8 o'clock, which is in about 15 minutes, I have to shut all that down. I can't respond to your comments and things like that until after my work day. So from 8 to I don't know 5, 6, depending on the day. Last night it was 9:30. I'm working. I'll take breaks in between, of course, just like anybody would. I break to eat, and sometimes I try and get up and walk around to make sure I'm getting some movement in throughout the day. And when I do those things, I may check in. But pretty much I've sold that time right to the company that I work for. So my focus during that time is primarily the day job. And then in the evenings, I split that between the time I'm spending with my family, preparing for my lives for the next day, other commitments. I'm involved in things at my church and uh, different groups and things like that. And so I have to calendar all those things so that I'm clear about what I'm doing at any given point in time, and I know what to focus on. It also lets me know when I can't say yes. Sometimes there's events or things that I'd love to participate in, but because my schedule is what it is, I may already be booked. I may not have time. So I need to know that and keep those times blocked out so that I'm managing it well. That allows me to focus. Otherwise, I'm just all over the place. One minute I'm trying to do social media, the next minute I would try to, respond to something at my job. Then I'm trying to, talk to my husband. I'm not giving anything my undivided attention. So the likelihood of me doing any of it well, any of it to the fullness of my ability, and getting any of it completed, the likelihood of that is very small because I'm just, all over the place. So it serves me well to time block. This time is M3 time. This time is IBM time. This time is family time. This time is church time. It's all built into a schedule so that I don't feel so hectic and overwhelmed. And I know at any point in time what it is that I should be focusing on. And I have my office set up. If you guys could see it, there's lights around me. There's one device here, there's a device in front of me, there's a device to the side. They pretty much stay in their place with the exception of the phone, and they're always ready to go. All I have to do is to key in the information for the next live, and then in the morning I'm just pushing 3 buttons and I'm ready to go. If I had to try and type all that stuff up and get prepared every morning, I would be exhausted. I would be always late, scatterbrained, and not in the right mindset to really have a decent conversation with you guys. So it takes some pre-work. And so I've built a system for myself. And systems are so great for promoting success. If there's something you need to accomplish, you have to build good systems for yourself. What environment do you need to have? What schedule do you need to have? What tools do you need to have available to you in order for you to be successful? My system has changed over time as I've taken on more and more things. I've had to figure out how to be more efficient in how I'm doing them. And I have to really think about every yes. If is it something that's aligning with what I have planned for myself, what it is I'm trying to accomplish. If it is, then I can look at making time for it. If it's not, I give myself permission to say no so that I can maintain the system and everything that I have going on around me. Let's see. We cannot do multitasking. Our brain can do one thing at a time, as per research. That's exactly right. And you can do a little experiment. Try to go in your kitchen and cook something like scramble an egg, something that's simple and that you've done a million times. While you're scrambling that egg, have one of your favorite shows on TV, and then have your phone there and have a conversation going on with your friend. In the broadest sense of the term, you've got three things going on at once. Your show's playing, you're texting, you're cooking. But at any point in time, you can't do all three of them at the same simultaneously. Although it's all happening around you, you can only focus in on one of those things at a time. So when you walk over to the stove and you start to scramble that egg, that's where your focus is. You may hear or even kind of see what's going on depending on where your TV is positioned. You may see and hear what's going on with your show that you're watching, but your focus is on scrambling that egg. Everything else is kind of in the background. You hear the beep, your a text comes in. You pick up the phone, you for a second at least you drop the fork and you are responding to that text. While you're responding to that text, you've lost focus on what's going on the TV. You've lost focus on the eggs, and because eggs scramble quickly, if you don't put that phone down fast, you've burned it or you've overcooked it. And so, trying to do all those things at once, it feels like to us that that's what we're doing, but at any point in time, your attention, your focus is really only on one of those things at a time, and you're just having short focus. You're focused on the egg, you're focused on this, you're focused on that. So you're bouncing from thing to thing, but you're never focused on all three at once. Our brains are just not, they don't function that way. We just think they do. We've fooled ourselves. And in buying into that multitasking system, what we've done is decreased the attention that we're giving to any one of those things at a time, and the likelihood of success is going down. The likelihood of burning your eggs is going up every time you start to do something else. The likelihood of really getting what's happening on the show and hitting that punchline or seeing whatever it was that's going on that you didn't want to miss, the likelihood of making mistakes in the text or missing the conversation as it's going back and forth, it just doesn't happen that way. It's really one thing at a time that's going on. We've just learned to keep our focus so short that it's actually hard for us to go in the other direction. When we want to work for an extended period of time or focus on something for an extended period of time, it gets really difficult now because we've trained our brains to jump and to hop from topic to topic, thing to thing. And so it's important that as you take on more or as you try to really effect change or create something in your life, you need to start to expand your ability to focus. So you may know that right now, if you try to read something after about 5 minutes, your brain kind of floats away. You just can't concentrate anymore. That's your starting point. Now you know I can only focus for about 5 minutes at this point in time. So the next time, try to do it for 6 or for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Just keep stretching yourself. Don't make it, I'm going to sit down and meditate for an hour and you've never done it before. Don't create impossible goals for yourself, because then you become overwhelmed, disappointed, you kind of throw in the towel. So know what your baseline is, know where you're starting, be okay with that, and that's just where we are today. And then we're going to take that and we're going to build on it, and we keep increasing our abilities, whether it's focus. It doesn't matter what it is, just attack life that way. Every time you go into something new, you may not be the best at it yet. In that moment, it's something new and you have to learn. So figure out where you are and then continue to expand your knowledge from there. And that keeps you from being so hard on yourself, helps you to give yourself a little grace and really hone in on something that you may want to, a skill that you want to develop, instead of getting so frustrated that you give up because you're telling yourself that it's impossible for you to accomplish it. So all I wanted to say to you guys today is happy Friday. Happy Focus Friday. I hope that you slide into a relaxing weekend that allows you to recharge your batteries and get ready for what the new week has to bring. Remember, focus on your target, organize your actions, be consistent in your efforts, utilize your time, and strive for excellence. We want to concentrate all your thoughts upon the work at hand. The sun rays do not burn until brought to a focus. Alexander Graham Bell. So just remember that as you're going throughout your day. What is it that I'm trying to accomplish right now? What's the task at hand? And focus. It may just be driving from point A to point B, but focus on that. Don't try to do all these other things while you're in the car. You increase your likelihood of accidents and things like that. That's why we see all those signs about, the call can wait or the whatever. Focus on the task at hand. And when you've completed that to your satisfaction, then you do the next thing. You are welcome, Robin. Thank you guys all for joining. Thank you all for a wonderful Focus Friday. I will be back on Monday. Mondays, I'm on at noon. And Monday, we will talk about mindset. So that's it. I am about to get my workday started and wrap that up so I can get ready for a nice long weekend because Tuesday is the 4th. So, Ambiola, hi, I didn't see you there. Welcome. So, you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we will get back together on Monday at noon Central for Mindset Monday. All right, bye, guys. You have a wonderful weekend. Talk to you next week.